So good morning everybody, my name is Kat Young. I'm delighted to be here. The business I run is STW Search and Marketing, and we work with customers to get them customers using the internet. So as I mentioned earlier, the things that are really sort of on the minds of most business managers, owners, marketing directors is getting to the top of search engines using something called search engine optimization, and also using social media. And we were having a conversation earlier about, well, yes, but social media is a huge subject and people seem to spend all their lives on it. And many of us are quite uncomfortable with that concept of, I haven't got time to spend loads and loads of time doing Facebook updates, Twitter updates, LinkedIn updates, YouTube updates. So what we do is work with people to make sure that we are very clear about who they're trying to talk to. And once we know who they're trying to talk to and what they're trying to say to them, then we choose the platforms through which you're going to deliver that message. One of my other sort of edicts is the fact that social media marketing is actually marketing using different platforms. So everything you've done till now to grow your business, make contact with people, network, build relationships, share knowledge, all that still carries on. It's just that we've got these new websites to do it through. So for some people, social media is a bit scary, but it needn't be. It is what you have already done to get your business to where it is, but just using these different mechanisms. I've been a trainer since 1995. I was trained when I was still a student. I have to get back in just but I started doing lots of soft skills things like time management, training, things like that. It's so funny. You know, a student, I haven't ever been in the workplace telling people how to do management. But it was part of the programme run by my university, and it was to help students improve their skills for employability. And now I do training both through STW and I do for the Adhere Training Club. And at the moment I'm doing about 2 to 3 training courses a month. And on top of that we do ad hoc training and coaching for our customers, which is where this idea for the apprenticeship sort of germinated. And I've worked with large and small organisations, both in the public sector and the private sector. Some of the training courses I've recently run was for Oxford Brookes, the Open University, and an organisation called the Longhurst Group, which, if you're into housing, is a huge housing association based up in Lincolnshire. So I'm really happy to be here today. I'm really delighted to be here. I feel very honoured because you lot are experienced business people. Many of you are trainers with the training club. You said you sort of whether or not this was a good idea. Don't know. I'll tell you in a minute. But I really am pleased to be here because I also love sharing some of my knowledge. So now that bit about me is over, we're going to move on to today's topic, which is create cracking content. I like alliteration. I'm not a good poet, unfortunately, which is why you get alliteration and rhymes and things from me. But what I'm trying to say is that content is the key to success on the internet. Search engine optimization works because you have words on your website that reflect what people want to know, the answers they're looking for, the information they're looking for. But your words has to be exactly the same as what the user wants to find out about. So if they go to the search engine, I'll type a word into or phrase into the search engine, your website will come up if the same words you're using are being used on your website. But it's also key to social media. One of the big questions people say with social media is how do I get more followers? How do I get to grow my influence on social media? Well, the actual answer is to create really interesting information and share it. So if we know that the search engines want us to have lots of interesting information on our website, and social media works best if you have lots of interesting information, then content, creating that content, is the key to success. People, regular people, you and me, what do we use the internet for? Well, we usually have a need that needs to be sated, or a question that needs to be answered. I mean, it could be anything, you know, but booking into a reasonably priced hotel in High Wycombe, if that's possible. I don't know.
It's a travel wash.
It's a travel wash, okay. Purchasing a pair of boots to go up Mount Snowdon. Find out what your friends have been up to, the social side of it. Or resolve a disagreement. We use it a lot for that, especially on the phone. So here's a disagreement. Question I have for the room, shout out if you know the answer, is what colour is a £5 note? No looking.
Blue.
Blue, green.
Blue, green. Hands up who say it's blue. Hands up who say it's green.
Oh, it's blue and green.
So, blue and green, okay.
Blue.
Okay. Well, I searched it on the internet. This is the results. What colour is a £5 note? And these are the results. I'm afraid it's not very clear, but I'm going to refer back to this in a minute. And I went into some of these websites. And the answer is, nobody knows. One example I decided to use to find out about the internet. Well, the Bank of England don't make any mention of it at all. The one thing they do say is the old notes were blue. I don't know if you remember, they were very sort of grey blue, almost like gunmetal blue. So that's said. And then the BBC said it was blue. And we trust the BBC.
Must be right, yeah.
But Wikipedia says it's green. But if you're unsure, this is what it is. I'm not actually much clearer.
Turquoise.
Really, isn't it? It is.
Grey.
I'm not letting you have a look. Yes, trust any of you.
Yeah, we're lovely people.
Okay, so why I chose that was to give you a quick sort of summary of this, which is the people appearing at the top of a search results. And the people appearing at the top are those generally who have done search engine optimization. Or, more to the point of this conversation, is they've created the content that reflects the phrase that I typed in. So, why are these people coming up at the top?
I'm just seeing who the first one is.
Okay. Now, this is, I say, it's not very clear, but this one is actually paid for. So this is Google AdWords in action. So they're at the very top because they've chosen to throw money at it. It's always a solution in the world. If you want to get something done, you can throw some money at it. But from here on in, it's what we would call organic search results. So these people have got there simply by the content on their website, reflecting what I was looking for. So I'm going to come back and give you the answer in a minute. But one of the questions that also gets asked a lot is, do I need to be number one? Does anyone have an opinion? Do you think it's a really good idea to be number one on Google? Or do you think it's better to be a bit further down?
I'd say top 3, top 5.
Yeah, top 2, yeah.
First page.
First page.
Definitely.
Oh no, I'd say first page and
Yeah, you've got the sort of fold thing. I mean,
I think once you pass 3, you can forget.
I'd say number one.
I just think they're very big organisations, so sometimes you want something a bit more bespoke, or you feel you want to speak to a person, and sometimes by going 2 or 3 down, you're going to get that.
I totally agree.
Also being number one now, usually you're not at the top of the page because there's somebody that's paid.
Done that kind of thing,
Anyway,
or
so-
maybe, you know.
People only 40% of people will click on the paid for. People know these are paid for, and they will. A lot of people will ignore them specifically. So I am talking about the number one in the organic position.